Welcome back, Mail-In Crew. We are the Mail-In Podcast. I'm your host, Brett Merriman, and to my right, the lovely, the chilly Sally deFries. What is up, Sal?
Nothing, really.
Nothing?
Got off early today.
Let's go.
Because I had to cancel a bunch of surgeries. Too humid in the OR.
Too humid in the OR?
Yeah, they got to control the humidity.
Oh my God.
The humidity was not controlled, so...
That'll do it. It's a big old heat wave, especially for our folks east of the Mississippi.
Yeah. Not
used to heat indices up in the 100s to 110s. New York has to be fucking miserable right now.
You're blasting the AC in here like it's
74. I don't think I don't blast it.
Oh, Sally, don't get me started. I'm the only one in here that thinks it's cold, and they always just, they don't care. They don't care about me.
Randy goes on walks to heat up his body.
Randy, I do the same thing when I leave the hospital. I'm like so freezing that I just go outside and sit in my car while it's hot for like 5 minutes to gain feeling back in my toes. Can I say something about the heat wave?
Mm-hmm.
We as a podcast believe in global warming, right?
Yeah, I'm confirmed. That's happening.
So we were in Florida this past weekend.
Mm-hmm.
And besides the place that we went in Florida for my grandma's memorial, where we like grew up going, it has been like fully decimated by hurricanes.
Sure.
Which like were a problem like growing up, but like they've got like absolutely like annihilated the past couple of years. So like every place that we like knew, loved growing up is not exist anymore. Mm-hmm. But the most concerning thing, they're on the Gulf side,
mm-hmm.
is how warm the Gulf water is.
Yeah. It's concerning how each summer seems to break an earlier, warmer record in the Gulf.
The Gulf water felt like a hot tub.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Not cool and refreshing.
Mm-hmm.
I think the fish might be being cooked as we speak. Like nothing has made me come home and be like, shit, we got to like really lock in some composting right now because I got to become carbon negative immediately. Like I was very concerned. Yeah. That was a big wake up call.
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, it's the biggest one for me is I'm pretty tied in and always have tied in. I've been tied in with my dad's business to the upstate New York recreation scene. Skiing specifically.
Right.
And when you look at Whiteface, Gore, the ski resorts in the Adirondacks.
Yeah.
They have like 8 of their last 10 winters have been pretty horrible financial losses.
Yeah.
That the state is now just propping up more and more.
Right.
Because there's not enough snow for not long enough time to have full ski seasons.
Right.
So where people used to start skiing Thanksgiving weekend, there's still like snow on the ground, like made snow, but half the mountain used to be opening weekend, and now it's like one trail.
Yeah.
And instead of skiing through the end of April or May, you're skiing maybe to the second week of April, and you're skiing on dirt.
Yeah.
And the snowfall is down. And so that's the last probably 15 years of the upstate New York winters have been pretty brutal. And the attendance and how should I say that? The financial performance of the ski resorts up there has matched.
Yeah.
And so it's just kind of sad. Very sad for especially the beer business up there, perhaps. So
you know what you can do?
Pivot to mountain biking?
No, you know what you can do to help with your part? I read something today that a single ChatGPT search uses the electricity of 10 times one Google search.
Nice.
So maybe you need to limit your AI.
I do. I don't hop on the old Chat GPT for much. You know, I'm not. If I do anything, it's like making funny.
Right. That's what I'm saying. If you're making like an AI generated song, like, is that enough to power like a single car for a year?
I don't think so.
Are you sure?
I just don't think so.
Oh, Brett's killing the environment with his country AI
with my
song.
country AI
I'm just
song?
saying.
What if they're bangers though?
Maybe that is a reason that we should all go back to like creating our own
Subsistence.
stuff.
Yeah. Randy's making plants. You see his whole setup? He's a plant daddy.
I know he's going to be carbon negative. The apartment of Randy's like just adding more to the environment. We're adding more oxygen. Thank you,
More
Randy.
plants.
You know what?
Thank you.
I had a
welcome.
plant for so long. I kept it alive for years. Finally kicked the bucket. I should re-up that. It's something in my apartment.
Yeah.
All right. I'll make my apartment carbon negative.
Yeah, there you go.
See, here's the thing that Brett uses such little electricity when it comes to lighting anything. He doesn't
It's
like
true.
lights at all.
No big lights.
He has
Honestly,
0 lights at all. So maybe that's why your plant died.
I mean, we
it's
kind of
not-
are the same way in our house. Like natural lights are only lamps. Because
right.
Will's like,
It's
this
no
is
big,
too bright.
No big lights.
Yeah.
Fluorescent lights are just the bane of my existence.
To be fair, like our overhead lights suck. They're like these. They're
Yeah,
like really
yeah.
white, and it's like
It's jarring.
it is jarring.
I like how the LED light companies have realized that the lights are jarring now, and so they've like added a yellow.
Yeah,
There's
you
like
gotta
you can
go
buy
soft white,
warm,
you know?
soft,
Yeah,
so, to make it feel like it used to, like an old
like an actual
incandescent.
light bulb. Yeah,
Yeah, it's like the old Christmas lights are better than the new ones.
I saw-
Horrible for the environment. Well, they just use more electricity and very dangerous. But
yeah.
the new ones don't have that same.
But they don't have the same
They don't have
Christmassy
the
vibe.
same vibe.
LED ones. I saw someone, for some reason, I got this served to me a week ago, complaining about Christmas lights and how they're LED. I don't know why it got served to me in the middle of June. But then, like, she's like, incandescent lights, they don't exist anymore. I'm like, you just don't go out and buy incandescent. You can buy them every year. Go to
Can
Home
you?
Depot. Yeah.
They still sell like
you
the
go to
straight up
Home De-
incandescent ones.
If you go to Home
That might
Depot
be like
or
a new.
Walmart,
Like they might have like a bounce back. Like a.
I
people
can
wanted
tell
to-
you for the past,
Really?
at least past 4 years, that they still sell incandescents. Everyone, they just don't put them on display like the LED ones.
Oh.
They're just in the red boxes in a different like section of, you know. So
Really?
if you go to get red box, they'll say incandescent lights on there.
Oh.
So
Okay. I just haven't.
Wow.
I've only gotten my
Bookmark this for
lights at Target.
December.
yeah, you can still, I don't know if you can get the big lights, the ones that go on the house, but definitely the small
The
Christmas
small
lights.
Christmas lights.
That's
okay.
what I have on my Christmas tree.
Oh, I got to look into that.
Just go to Walmart or Home Depot and you'll find them
Yeah,
quite
shopped,
easily.
shopping at Target for Christmas lights the last couple of years. Granted, I have so many lights now because of the Christmas cocktail hour, which happy to announce its return this year.
Okay, it's 6 months out. Let's be
You fail to prepare to fail,
a
Sally.
little conservative here. 'cause
Randy said he would already help out multiple fronts. I'm excited about it.
Maybe I will. But also, Brett did declare the Christmas cocktail hour was going to happen like last year too, and then it just
No,
didn't end up
no,
happening,
no,
or
no,
the year
no, no,
before
no.
that.
I
There
said
were
once-
some that you
I
declared
said
and
once
just
the
didn't happen.
once the clam bake happened, we're going to have to take the Christmas cocktail hour off the table.
Sure, whatever.
Want to wish everybody a happy last day of school for the Saratoga Springs School District.
Really, this late?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Wow, I thought we were late, and we were always like at the latest would be the second week of June, and that was because we had to make up snow days. We were usually done by June 7th.
Got it. Okay. Shouts to the Toads. Is it weird that kids graduating this year they weren't even in kindergarten when we graduated high school?
Are they even alive?
Yeah. They're 18.
You mean when we graduated high school? Yeah.
Oh no, I guess it would. This is the year. Like if kindergarten, right? 12 years.
I don't know. It's been 13 years
13
since we
years, yeah.
graduated.
So they would have been
yeah.
preschool.
Crazy.
Yes, Sal?
Taking time bomb. Ocean acidity crosses vital threshold.
we have Sally on a doom scroll. Let's get Sally off a doom scroll.
Yikes, you guys.
And if you would like to leave us a question, perhaps about global warming or really anything, we'll be happy to answer. We'll give it our best. You can leave a voicemail 888-362-6245, or you can write in at the link in the Twitter bio at Mailin Podcast or in the description of this episode. Here we go. Sal, ready?
Mm-hmm.
Hey guys. So my boyfriend just proposed and we're so excited. Congratulations. Let's ride. We are just taking these first couple of weeks to enjoy the milestone before we start wedding planning. We both work busy schedules and have some questions. 1, do we get a wedding planner before we start checking out venues, etc.? 2, Any tips on not being overwhelmed by the entire wedding industry?
If you don't want to be overwhelmed by the entire wedding industry, then I suggest that you elope.
Flying away.
Mostly because I have yet to speak to a person who really enjoyed planning their wedding.
Except me. I can't wait.
You haven't planned one though yet.
Correct.
Right. Like the days of like the late 90s, early 2000s, like wedding romanticism where we like made all these rom-coms about how great it would be to like plan a wedding.
Yeah, just Father of the Bride.
The Wedding Planner with J-Lo.
And that one.
And Father of the Bride. That has fallen because of how absurd the wedding industry is
and
now.
One-upsmanship and
exactly
social media. And
okay. All that aside, if you are not, I would sit down before you do anything. I would sit down and like with your fiance, possibly your mom's, and like actually come up with like what your goals are of the day.
Yeah. Maybe some pillars, perhaps.
First with your fiance and then maybe with your mom's, especially given like who's going to be paying for the wedding. But like if you have really important stuff to you, like I want it to feel intimate or I want it to be a big blowout or whatever, all of those things, like have that going into it, because before you meet with a wedding planner or event planner or whatever it may be, or like go look at event spaces, you're going to want to know like how big you want it to be, what your vibe is. Like if one of you is not averse to eloping, then maybe that's a conversation you have. There's a lot that goes into it and it's a very expensive endeavor. So I would sit down. That's my number one. Do that first.
Get your pillars down. Size, like let's get maybe not a line by line budget, but like a informal budget.
And then add like 50% to it because you are going to go over budget.
And do we want to do it here or in Oklahoma or in Italy? Like then you kind of start, where do we want it? What makes sense? And then go from there, right? Because a wedding planner is going to want more concrete information than just like, hey, we're engaged. Let's go. I
would book a wedding planner first thing out of anything.
Really? Okay.
Mostly for several reasons. One, they're going to assist in like every aspect of it and you're paying them to do that. So if you're planning on having a wedding planner and you're both busy people and you don't want to plan a wedding and you don't want to entrust your mom to plan a wedding, then I would hire a wedding planner.
That's fair. Because they can
put that in the budget.
Like vendor management.
Exactly.
Stuff too. Okay.
So it's like,
and booking and this and that.
A girlfriend of mine who is an interior designer was like, you need to hire the designer before you buy the house. And she was like, nobody thinks about that because they're the ones who are looking at it and being like, this doesn't really make sense. Or like, you definitely have to hire the designer before you start remodeling. Don't hire them after the fact because they have a full bird's eye view picture. Same thing with the wedding planner. Like they have the ins and outs of the wedding industry and they probably already have a handle on like XYZ who's available, because the biggest thing with planning a wedding is like getting all of the dates to line up so that everyone's available on the same day. And especially depending on where you're getting married and how soon you're trying to get married, you may be looking at like 2 years out for a Saturday somewhere, and somebody else a wedding planner may have a better grip on that. So if you know that you're going to get married in your hometown, you like already have somebody in mind, do that. If not, I would like interview 2 to 3 people, maybe more than that, of like what you're looking for, and get that locked down, because they're going to be the one to handle the event. They know how much, like most of these people who you're hiring have been in the event spaces, know how much it can handle, etc. And usually then have worked with people that they can pull in from other things, being like, we have used this florist with this event space before. They did a great job. Here's what we want. And you can kind of sit down, have a couple meetings with them of like, here's what we were thinking. And they can give you some more realistic expectations. But that being said, a wedding planner is a very significant cost, but one that if you are doing, I would budget in, because it's in my opinion, worth your time. We hired a wedding planner that we subsequently canceled. but had paid her for the first part of it, and was very helpful. Like, there's no way I would have been able to do any of that by myself. I didn't have to. Yeah, I would say those are your first 2 steps, but I wouldn't, unless there's some like venue that you're like, we got to be at the New York Public Library and they have this opening, we got to do it right now. Then like do that. But if you haven't like locked one specific event space down, then I'd get the planner first.
Gotcha. I just say big tent, good booze, good food, good music, and the people you love most in the world, you're going to have fun. That's how I say don't be overwhelmed.
Yeah.
That's my very simplistic view of it.
Unfortunately, you're going to be overwhelmed. That is what it is. If you want to be less overwhelmed, I think really scaling it back and doing something where like maybe you do like a small weekend somewhere like off the beaten path can make it a little bit more special, and like, but everyone's different.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Depends on what you're looking for, I think is the best way to put it.
Yeah.
I used to want a big Wedding Crasher style wedding. I'm good now with eloping, anywhere really in between. I just want my pals together to celebrate. I think that's the biggest thing for me, whenever that may be.
Whenever that happens.
Before we go to the next one, Sally, let's hear from our friends over at Factor. Make this your best season yet with nutritious 2-minute meals from Factor. Eating well has never been this easy. Just heat up and enjoy, giving you more time to do what you want. Get outside instead of prepping and cooking indoors. Factor meals arrive fresh and ready to eat, perfect for any active lifestyle. And with 45 weekly menu options, you can pick gourmet meals that fit your goals, choose from Calorie Smart, Protein Plus, Keto, and more. Factor powers your day with satisfying breakfasts, on-the-go lunches, premium dinners, and guilt-free snacks and desserts. It's always easy to savor more this spring because Factor meals pack in the flavor with none of the fuss. Randy, you were saying something about the cauliflower rice, I believe?
Yes.
On the Factor meals?
I like it.
How about that? I like their brisket queso.
Ooh.
Very good. Among other things. They have a good lemony garlic chicken dish too.
I like how easy it is too.
You don't even plate them. I plate mine. Randy just goes right out of the box.
I'm saving dishes and saving the environment, Brett, by not having to dirty more dishes. So.
Definitely less food waste if you already have your meals prepped. You're not just like letting.
Exactly. A green initiative from Washed Media, thanks to Factor. Get started at factormeals.com/mail50off and use code mail50off to get 50% off plus free shipping on your first box. Again, that's code mail50off at factormeals.com/mail50off for 50% off plus free shipping. Next one, Sal.
Wow, this is a wedding centric episode. I've been organizing my best friend's bachelor party. I've known him since we were 4. Legit lived across the street from me. The one issue I'm having is in planning is our other childhood best friend that grew up 10 houses down. He's an absolute wild card and feels like the political climate has only made him worse. He says controversial things just to see people's reaction, takes the opposite side just to have arguments, listens to a lot of Rogan, probably enjoys Barstool content a little too much for a 38-year-old, and now is super into Tucker. We have people of different backgrounds, race, religion, and sexual preference attending this bachelor party, and I am extremely nervous that he will say or do something that ruins the long weekend. The groom wants him there. I pushed to not invite him and have a sit down with him and explain why it's best not to invite him. I got overruled, and then the groom stuck me with the obligation of speaking to our friend and telling him he needs to behave. So I've come to you asking for help. How the hell do you tell a grown man that he needs to behave himself at a bachelor party?
The old wild card.
Okay. I feel kind of like 2 ways about this.
Okay.
Wild cards are going to wild card.
Wild card's going to wild card. That's absolutely right. You can say something beforehand, but like a grown ass man is going to do what he wants, even if that's be extremely immature. Especially with a wild card. There's like part of me that's like, you absolutely have to say something. Be like, dude, we're doing this. There's a lot of different things going on here. There's a lot of different people that are going to be here that you probably don't agree with on a number of different issues. For the groom's sake, for my sake, can we keep it as low key as possible? Now, the probability of that backfiring because telling a grown, immature man to not do something only makes him want to do something more.
That's my fear. Is like, are you going to egg him on further by telling him to like tone it down.
And I think you have to, at the very least, take that risk so you can be like, dude, listen, how many strikes am I going to give you? Like, we're going to put you in Uber, send you back to the Airbnb from dinner. Like, you're going to cause a scene and you're going to feel like an asshole. Does he care? I don't know. But you do say something to him.
Okay, here's my, if you're super close with him and it's like you can have a frank conversation, then I think you have the conversation of like, hey, like, you know, the groom's fiance's brother's there, and like you could possibly event, like being upfront with him if you all are really close and be like, I really want this to make this weekend about Garrett and like not about starting controversy or fights or etc. Like, if you like, let's just try to like keep the peace.
You're not getting invited to SNL based on the jokes you make this weekend at other people's expense.
Then I would do that. But like come from a place of like sincerity, and like I wouldn't like try to set strong boundaries on him, because that'll only probably force like him to want to push it back against it. And I in the example I said like don't piss off the fiance's brother, but I also would refrain from pointing out specific examples of people he might piss off.
Putting targets on.
You don't want to put somebody on his radar, right? Like you don't want to be like, hey, like this guy is, you know, whatever. It's like super lib or what, like he's going to do what he's going to do. But I would, if you're close and can give a sincere conversation, then do that. If y'all grew up together, but if you've like grown apart and you're just like, this is the guy we're inviting and he's kind of a dick and like whatever. I also feel like
a wild card.
It's not fully your responsibility. Like you're trying to make the best weekend for your friend, but also like you weren't the one who invited him. If anything, you could do the opposite and like warn everyone else. Like, hey, our friend Garrett from home is like kind of a huge asshole. And like, whoever invited, like the groom invited him because, you know, they go way back. The parents are friends, etc. But like he can say some offensive things. And like, if you need to take a step back, great. Like,
if there's any weekend to be like, hey, he's going to say some shit, let it roll off your back. He's trying to be funny. He's being a dick.
Yeah.
Kind of warn people and just say, you know, if anything's really offensive, happy to help you step in and just be like, let's cut that shit out.
Yeah. But at the end of the day, like people always say like conversation, like you can talk to this guy as much as you want. He's not going to change. And the groom made the decision. He wants him there. So this is on the groom more than you. And I like how you guys said that. If anything, you tell him not to say anything, like you said, he'll push back. Just maybe be frank and be like, because sexual preference, just be like, hey, we got a gay guy. How about you just like tone it down this weekend, man? Just if you just say tone it down, he might actually be like, okay, like, but you straight up say like, you can't be, you're like your regular dick self. Like he'll push back.
Mind pulling back the slurs this weekend, just a smidge.
And then I think you also, as the best man, are you yourself have a low threshold for like bad behavior. Like if he's like obviously belligerent or like starting shit with people, I think what makes the groom feel better and probably makes the other people who are possibly being targeted feel better is to acknowledge that like you're not cool with that and just be like, hey, we're not going to talk about that right now.
We're not going there.
Like it's you don't have to cause drama, but it's really easy to like just step in and be like, no, we're, you know.
Yeah. Doesn't take a fist fight. It doesn't take a retaliation. Just it takes a like nope, like nip it in the bud.
Right.
New thing.
But at the end of the day, it's not your choice to invite him. And also like he's 38 years old. It's not like you're going to like coach him out of 38 years of bad behavior.
Exactly. Like at the end of the day, it's how much the groom is able to tolerate this stuff. And it seems like he tolerates it. If that's that's probably a bad thing, but it's really the groom's weekend. He wants him there and he's okay with this type of stuff as long as it doesn't completely ruin the trip, I guess.
Yeah. In my opinion, this is the groom's responsibility to say something if he feels that strongly about it. I kind of agree with
you. Yeah.
Like you're the one who invited him.
You're giving them the invite. You're giving him the platform, so to speak. Like you're going to deal with people with hurt feelings after the weekend kind of thing.
Yeah.
But I also see where this guy's coming from. This reminds me just of the guy at my pool, Randy. I picture him on bachelor party.
Oh God. Yeah, that'd be one of the ones where like if that guy was on the bachelor party, I would just. That's when you get people starting to spread
People
off.
would just people would splinter off, and that's
There's
that's
always
fine
one person
too.
at that,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
any kind of group trip that everyone's just like, God, shut up. Like, and it kind of works itself out because most
It
adults are
does,
just
you know
like,
what?
I'm not going to like sit by you or hang out with you.
Especially people in their 30s. Like they're just
Yeah.
there's gonna be a clique that's just like, all right, we're gonna go like over here.
Yeah. And like, if this dude's not self-aware enough to realize that people are just straight up avoiding him, then like, we can't help you
Yeah,
out.
and
Right,
you already said your piece to the groom too, and if that starts to happening, and people like in the groom's like, "Why is everyone splitting up?" You could just be like, "Because I warned you about this." Like this
Because
was
Jared's being
yeah.
a dick.
And,
Like,
and also, like, it's just because he's getting married and you're the best man doesn't mean that you have to like. Yes, you're like making the weekend about the groom and like trying to make him have a fun time, but like you also are not responsible for all of his decisions. Like,
Yeah.
you can only do so much. So like, it's not like you don't want to like ruin his weekend with the "I told you so," but you're also not. You don't have to coddle this dude. He's also a grown man. Like
Yeah.
the groom's a grown man too. So
Totally.
like,
pretty much on the weekend. Don't escalate things. Don't be the one to escalate.
Yeah.
things,
There you
because
go.
then you'll become the bad
Exactly.
guy somehow.
perfect.
Let's see. Hi, Brett, Sally, and Randy.
Hi.
This question's mostly for Sally. Sally, are you watching Love Island USA or Love Island UK? Are you watching both? Is it actually possible to watch both? Thank you for all you guys do.
Wow. Step into my office. Yes, we are currently watching UK.
Okay.
We started USA.
USA has some traction on the old timeline.
Here's the deal. Okay. From a Love Island pro. I personally connect better with UK.
Bit of banter.
Bit of banta, chappy lads, etc.
It's early
Here's the
days,
thing.
though.
I think the UK has consistently been a better product.
Mm.
However, in the past 2 years, I would say that Love Island USA has amped up. I mean, clearly the production costs have been there for a while, but like they've really amped up the drama. My issue, and I actually express this to intern Klein because we have a Love Island group chat between me, Klein, Will, and Lexi, is that my issue with the USA is that I think because it is Americans, it really makes me like lose faith in our society, like watching these people interact.
Uh-huh.
But for some reason, the UK feels more like a spectator sport than like the USA feels like, oh, I'm like probably working with some of these people. Like I'm around them. We're interacting daily. Whereas the UK seems a little bit more removed. So like they can act like idiots and you're like, that's pretty embarrassing for you. But like
Mhm.
it feels more removed.
Like you can see these people at the bar or like something
Right.
like that. It's like, oh, these yeah.
Right.
You're married a little close to home, so
Now-
to speak.
I say all that. I've always felt like that. And for a long time, at the beginning of the USA years, like not cool people were signing up for USA. So I was like, this is kind of lame. Now it's like got traction that like they're getting good talent, right?
Okay.
So the USA I think is worth it. I still like as an Anglophile, just like love watching UK. Like I love seeing where people are from. I love the like northern accents. I love I love all the like the banta.
It's
I
way-
love all of the colloquialisms. I love it all. But Will and I both have been told by multiple people that we're like missing out on the USA. So here's the thing. If you're a Love Island newbie, both shows run 5 to 6 nights a week. It's like 5 nights of actual
Yeah.
plot,
Mhm.
plot,
And then,
quote
like, a
unquote.
recap.
And then there's like a recap episode. The UK runs for 8 weeks. I think Love Island USA runs for maybe 6 weeks. That's a significant amount of episodes. I mean, like literally, I think the UK has something upwards of like 50 episodes,
Oh my god.
which is obscene. And they're all an hour long. So people are like, that's an insane time commitment. But for someone like Will and I, who are like going with our kids in the summer, it's like a good wind down show for us, especially if you're like not trying to like, we always like watch a show together before bed. And Love Island itself is really mindless. Like you can be scrolling your phone, you can be doing stuff, and you don't have to be paying attention to like every moment that happens,
Right.
which is a problem for Will and I. Like watching TV is like one of us falls asleep or the other person's like scrolling Instagram and you just like miss shit that happens. That doesn't matter in Love Island.
Yeah. It's good. It's good mindless. You don't have to be.
But mindless fodder regardless.
Yeah.
But Will literally right before the show was like, we got to catch up on USA. And I'm like, we're probably 2 weeks behind.
Okay.
But like, that's easy to do. You just like put it on while you're like cooking or like whatever. So it is possible to do both. Are you like a degenerate for watching both? Probably. I think the episodes are straight 90 minutes long.
Oh my God.
Which is like Bachelor territory.
Yeah.
Like too much. But I don't know. It's fun. It's easy.
It seems fun. I haven't been into a reality show since like the Hannah Brown season of The Bachelor.
I think Love Island for me is better than The Bachelor because even though there is like some producer generated drama, it tends to happen more naturally.
Well, yeah, because you have the same, well, not the same number, but like you can multiple couples, which just makes it more fun.
It's, they're picking out whatever the most volatile storylines are for every day.
Yeah.
Whereas The Bachelor started to be like really producer heavy of like people are crying because they have type 1 diabetes.
It's so formulaic.
Like, it's just like
you can only so many people dating the one person. It's like it just
yeah.
It still is a great show. Don't get me wrong. And Bachelor in Paradise is an awesome show.
So I would say Love Island is like a better product of Bachelor in Paradise.
Okay.
Because again, it's like less formulated drama and also something about the like Love Island formula. It's like cleaner to look at. Like I don't know.
Better like filter, camera work.
And because a lot of it just some of this is purposeful. It's like they like don't really allow like messes and things. There's not like shit laying around. It's like,
oh wow,
you never see them eating. This is all like, of course I've like gone into a deep dive, but like this is all like part of the like pillars of the show is that like the only time you see them eating is breakfast. Or if there's like a date, but like you never see them eat. They don't really drink. They're like allowed to have like one drink a night. Every other meal they take in like a craft services like trailer with like a producer. They eat by themselves. And it's like for the full purpose of like not furthering the plot.
Oh, that's interesting.
And there's these like things like there's like, obviously these girls are in like bikinis all day. So they have like a full day of like every week of like getting their hair and nails and like wax, etc. Like you obviously don't see any of that. That's just like funny to me. But if you are looking to watch, this summer is like a fun time to jump in. If you are, we have a lot of people who write in who are like going to be new parents. Watching a season of Love Island is like a great up in the middle of the night show. Okay. It's like I like all my friends, I'm like, Love Island should be your breastfeeding show. So it's like you need some sort of entertainment to like keep yourself up while you're breastfeeding, and it's easy. And it's bright enough to keep you.
Can we clip that? Love Island, your breastfeeding show.
Yeah, no, it really is. So if you're like me, and you have the time to commit to both, which I really don't. But if you're not, and you want to save one, the only issue is like, if you're watching old seasons, you can get spoilers. But like, who gives a shit? I mean, some of the best seasons, in my opinion, are some of the older seasons of Love Island.
Classics.
They're like really fun to watch.
The first one, Molly, May, and...
That was season 5, Brett. Okay. But low-key, my favorite season of Love Island UK is season 5.
Classic.
You got Maura, you got Tommy and Molly May.
The best.
Solid cast.
I haven't watched Love Island since that. You know, I should. My TV, Randy knows, my TV consumption is zilch outside of live sports and select, if
you're extremely online
streaming.
And you don't like spoilers, this is not the show for you.
Yeah.
Unless you're like going to keep up in real time. But if you're like... The problem with UK is like you're on a 2-hour delay or 2-day delay unless you are a psycho and like find a link via Reddit, which we used to do, but now we're too lazy. So you just like cannot follow any of these people on Instagram, or you'll find out.
You'll get. Oh, interesting.
They used to also not run at the same time. It used to be like UK would be earlier in the summer and USA would be later.
I'm shocked they're going.
I think they do it is because the narrator is the narrator for both.
Oh, and he's just like
And I think he's just grinding.
working
like
around the clock. Is it still
24/7.
that guy who's very like,
Yes. Yes. I think he's
all
Irish.
right, campers?
Yeah.
Would you
he's
do a Love Island experience?
like
Say you and Will, you can like, you sign up for 2 weeks. It's like a 2-week vacation, right? And the idea is there's this, 10 couples are going to go to this house and you all have bedrooms and whatever. And it's like that's the Love Island experience.
that's just like a 2-week vacation with
Yeah,
couples.
with couples.
Just a couple.
But you don't know
What are
them.
talking
You don't
about?
know them. Strangers.
No, I wouldn't do
Okay.
that. If I was single and like 22, I would absolutely apply to be on Love Island.
Yeah.
I mean, it would ruin your future if you were trying to like,
Do anything
if
but
you were trying to do
be-
anything serious. But also, we say
entertainment.
all that, and like these people still have lives. Like we're like decades into reality TV at this point.
Yeah. Jesse Palmer did great.
Mike
Back
White
in
is
reality TV.
going back on Survivor. Like that actually is probably the reality TV you should be watching. Is like,
Survivor?
yeah, it's like
Uh,
it might be the
never watched.
50th season, and Mike White is going back. The
Where's that-
creator of White Lotus, who won Survivor.
Oh, I see.
Mike White,
What,
who created, like,
I'm
White
thinking-
Lotus.
I thought I was thinking Mike White was Jeff Probst. I was like, yeah.
no, he's still on.
Yeah, Mike
Uh,
White won Survivor, then made White Lotus.
Correct.
Yeah.
And also was Mr. Schneebly in School of Rock, in case you were.
Mike White is?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Yes. Very interesting resume on Mike White.
He's done well for himself.
I like this is coming from someone who's not a reality TV person, except for I just said I watch a shit ton of
Hold
Love
on.
Island, but like
Time out.
I'm not like a Bravo girl.
Okay. Real Housewives, like,
And not for any reason besides like I just have never caught up, and then it's like been too hard to like get into it,
sure,
you know?
Sure.
Nothing against Bravo at all. Like
No,
But-
they've done well.
also a great product is Traders. And Traders
That
new season
combines-
is a lot of like reality show
Mhm.
and then some other like random celebrities. Like the last season had Dylan Efron on it.
Okay.
So like random celebrities and reality TV stars. Traders is a great reality TV show.
It's good stuff.
Also a UK product first. I'm just saying like UK TV in terms of reality TV is like light years ahead of the United States.
I believe it. They know how to do it over there.
They just know how to
it's
like
like
make
the
people
Simon
look
Cowell
real dumb. Yeah.
generation. of,
Everything
like-
that we've
and
done,
they're
they did
okay
first.
with just being degenerates.
Yes.
Producers, they're like, oh no, you guys got to make out right now. We're
Yeah.
all well, okay. Well, if it it happens naturally,
Yeah.
they're just like, no, get it done. Let's go.
Love it. Loved that question.
You want the next one?
Hey guys, am I an asshole for getting in the day of the wedding? If I'm not in the wedding, I don't really want to bother spending money or taking time off work for a day where I generally don't need to be there. No.
No.
That's
Brett?
an easy answer.
Yes.
Brett thinks that
I don't think you're an asshole.
Brett
I just-
thinks you need to get
I-
in the day before because what if your flight gets delayed?
I think that is probably my number one thought.
I'm not spending an extra
Two.
$200 to go to a wedding. That
I
I've already
understand
spent,
this is like a-
$400 just to be there via flights.
But if
Probably
you're not
500
in the wedding, that's why you basically turn it into a 3-day weekend, like a vacation.
doing what?
Your weddings are always in fun places. You can always find something to do. Go play
I went
golf.
to Indy last time.
Okay. I think there's
Indianapolis,
two
maybe
camps here. And I used to be in your camp, Brett, like where I'm in my late 20s, early 30s, and like every wedding was like a fun trip for us.
Yes.
I think now that I'm older, I am realizing that like going to a wedding is not a vacation for me. Like it's
Especially
like,
now.
it's
I mean,
something that someone else planned that like I didn't get to plan. And granted, and I spent a lot of those weddings like in the wedding. So I wasn't
Sure.
like, like we were in one in Aspen and like I didn't do anything in Aspen besides like get ready in a hotel room. So that is always tough. If you're not in the wedding and you're also not going to the rehearsal dinner, like, no, who cares? Like you might miss the night before party post rehearsal dinner, but then again, if you don't care about missing, no one is going to care that you're missing.
And also,
No,
that's
I
not
don't
every,
think it's
not
a-
every
it's not
wedding
a-
has those. Like the one I'm going to does have welcome drinks the day before on Friday, But a lot of them are just rehearsal dinners, and then the party just goes back to their place.
Right.
See, but isn't it fun to meet your friends and
But the question was, is he an
Oh
asshole?
no, he's obviously not an asshole.
Like,
That's
I
not
don't. The groom
it's
and
not-
bride have other shit to worry about
Yeah.
besides like what your whereabouts are.
Not
And
an
if you
asshole,
get to
but-
meet your friends, because a lot of them, if they're in the wedding party and stuff, are going to be busy, and not everyone is on Friday.
They go to
you
welcome,
don't know who's going
They go to welcome
to.
drinks. Everybody does
Not everyone. Not
What
every
is-
wedding
what?
has welcome drinks.
Oh man, I feel like every wedding has like a Friday night
No,
event.
unless
No,
a lot
I
of people just do the rehearsal dinner with the wedding party, and then the Saturday's the thing.
Like
Oh,
not a
man.
sanctioned event.
Not a sanction, but like it's like a rehearsal dinner, and then maybe it's a welcome drink, or like meet at this bar and we all. hang
Here's
out.
what I'll say. You're not an asshole. The bride and groom are not going to care. Honestly, the bride and groom are probably not even going to fucking notice if you're at the ceremony. Like, the only time they're going to notice if there's a seated dinner that you don't show up to and you RSVP'd, yes. Like,
Yeah,
that you're an asshole. But like, if you are getting in the day of the wedding, getting ready and going, like, they have no clue what you're doing. They're mired up in their own shit. If you're not in the wedding, you're totally golden. I think whether or not you should go the day before is like completely up to you and kind of dependent on like how close you are with like the group that's attending the wedding. If this is like your, work friend that like
Oh,
you
yeah,
only
that's-
know and they're the only person, like they don't care.
Yeah.
If this is your childhood best friend and like it's going to be a full blown reunion and maybe you're missing that out, like again, you're not an asshole, but like maybe you're missing something. I think it's totally dependent. But
Mhm.
if you book a flight the morning of, you'll probably be fine. You probably won't get delayed. I say that with caveats.
Yeah, just don't get
Most of the time, if you're the first flight out, you're going to not be delayed.
Of all the flight cancellation or delayed possibilities, that's usually the best one because there's nothing has been messed
was
up yet.
not the best thing when we went to New York recently
Unless you
when
get a
the
mechanical
plane did not get there
situation.
the night before. But
Tough.
most of the time, if you're the first flight out or like really early in the morning, the chance of you being delayed is slim.
Mhm.
Flying sucks.
Yeah,
But-
if hotel prices weren't like minimum $250 a night, then yeah, I'd be more down for it. But it's
and
like
that's-
and
that- I
like
mean, that's
having to
fun.
take
That's
off
fair.
work,
That's fair. That's
etc.
fair.
Especially when you're in that phase of your life where everyone's getting married and like you're just like taking Thursday and Friday off all the time, it like gets
Mhm.
pretty old. And especially if you're not like, I don't want to blow my load on this person that I'm like not even close with, then
Sure. Yeah.
you're not an asshole. I
You're-
think everyone is entitled to yes, their opinion, but like everyone's entitled to feel how they want about weddings. It can really grind on you, but I get your point of view where like you're going for the vacation trip.
I love weddings. I really do.
I
love
think maybe
them
I'm
so
jaded
much.
now. I do think that you're going to get to a point where you're over it.
Oh, I'm sure. Like especially like if I'm married myself and have kids, like once it becomes a hassle, of course.
But I
but
think I
I
reached
love-
that before, like
Fair, that's fair.
right before
Yeah.
Will and I got married.
Mhm.
And obviously we didn't have children yet, but like, I don't know what your number is, but like after like 12 weddings in a year, I'm just like, I'm done. Like,
2022 drained me physically, emotionally, financially.
Right. And I think,
But I just love them. I don't know what it is. I love love. I love cheese. I love hanging with friends and boozing and meeting people, and I love them.
yeah,
I love
I don't know. I used to be that way.
I love traveling.
And now I'm
like,
not. I mean, I love traveling, but I
Yeah.
like traveling on my own like agenda. Like I'm not, I don't want
that's-
to travel for your stupid event.
the best. Like say getting in. Like I'll Thursday night, if depending on how well you know the couple. Friday's a fun round of golf, welcome drinks. Saturday day, if you're not in the wedding party, is the best. You go out, get a nice brunch or lunch in.
If
Get
you're
ready.
close
Oh.
with the crew that's there.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's just some of my favorite
But
days.
even then, like, I'm just like, okay, we're spending this whole day. Like, we can't go do anything we really want to. We're like having the brunch, and then we got to go back to the hotel at like 3 to get ready. Like,
yeah.
I don't
And
know.
you get all
It's not my
spiffed.
vibe
Then you get all
anymore.
spiffed up.
see, I
Glass of
disagree.
champagne.
I disagree with you there too, Brett. I mean, this is as a groomsman, not a bridesmaid, because I know it's those are very different things. I prefer being a groomsman the day of way more than being just some random
Both
party
are
guest.
fun. No,
'Cause
both
you
are
get,
fun.
you have way more fun as a groomsman. than just
Very,
some
it
random
is
guest.
very fun to be a groomsman. I like having, you're in in a new city, you go try some restaurant, you go walk the waterfront, or you go to some landmark. Like I enjoy that stuff. I really do. Whether I'm solo or with my guest, or like she's in the wedding party and I don't know a soul, so I get to go run around Greenville, South Carolina.
I don't know.
That's a blast.
I just feel like on the JV squad right before the ceremony, and we're trying to get drinks, and like it's like we're the ones that weren't picked as the groomsmen and stuff, like, and we're the ragtag group. It's not as
that's
it's not
okay
as fun.
to be the ragtag. Your presence was valued enough that you got to see the table.
I want to wear the Leatherman jacket, which is the tuxedo of a groomsman. I achieve greatness.
Sad. Just sad. Sorry, I love love.
No one doesn't say no one loves love. We're just saying
I don't know that it's that you love love.
Brett
I think
doesn't
you like a
that,
party.
Brett doesn't like that we're both on the opposite side of this question.
Mm-hmm.
Sad. Hey, Mail-In Crew. I met Felicia in 2017 at work, and we instantly connected. I eventually left the company we were at in 2018, and she started dating the guy who replaced me. I ended up moving across the country, so I never met this guy, but based off her track record with men, I had low expectations from the start. Felicia fell hard for this guy, as she typically does with any new love interest, but he always kept needing to go on breaks during their relationship. Felicia decides to come visit me in my new home state about 2 years later. Right before she boards her flight to visit, she finds out that her boyfriend was also dating his ex-girlfriend the same time as her for their entire relationship. So when they were on a break, he was actually with his ex-girlfriend. Long story short, Felicia ended things with him, and I was there for her every step of the breakup. About a month later, she told me that she decided to forgive this guy and get back together with him. And after all the time and energy I invested into her well-being of the relationship the past 2+ years and how horribly he treated her, she still forgave him. I essentially put a pause on my friendship with her as I had had enough. Another year goes by. She informs me that her boyfriend moved away and she was trying to move with him. She had no luck finding a job in his new city, and he eventually broke up with her because, wait for it, he found a new love interest at his job a few states away, and once again, I was there for her through this breakup. Fast forward to now. Felicia's 33, still one of my good friends, and was even in my wedding last year. However, I'm having trouble continuing to console her, especially because I put so much time and energy into these situations just to have her ignore every piece of advice I gave her. She's been on a few dates here and there. She's now in a state of mind where she's telling me that she thinks she's fat and ugly, and she keeps beating herself up because she's not living up to the idea of the life she'd planned in her head. I just don't know how to navigate this anymore, as every time I try to help, she will either not acknowledge the advice I give or tell me that she's already tried that. Her only goal in life seems to be to find a husband, even though she has a great job, is in training for another marathon, and has a solid friend group. Do I continue to try my best to console her, or should I take a step back from helping? Any advice here would be greatly appreciated, and thank you.
Is this the one that you guys have been
punting every week?
Yeah.
You take a step back.
Yes.
Not everyone has a person like this in their life, but normally you know of somebody like this, whether you were friends with them in high school or college or post-grad, whatever. Felicia is not going to get better even when she finds someone. Like, she is going to continue to be a toxic human being.
Felicia needs to love herself first.
Exactly. It's, first of all, she's 33. It's not your responsibility to like be her therapist. You are her friend and you can give her advice, but it is, like the person said, very frustrating to continually give someone advice to only be met with like comments of like the victim mentality. Like, it's not my fault, it's other people's fault, or like, woe is me, I'm fat and ugly, et cetera, et cetera. Like, there is only so much you can do when I'm going to venture to say that Felicia is very narcissistic and probably doesn't ask the person about their lives.
That's what it feels like. Yeah.
Or like care about what's going, like maybe you're going through a hard time at work, or maybe you're having a hard time in your relationship. And likely, like, if you say something, it's like she's listening just so
she can talk again.
So she can talk again.
Yeah. We all know people like that.
Yes. And like, that is not a friendship that's going to serve you. And I think what's really hard is you build loyalty to somebody, whether it's years of experience with them or shared history or whatever the case may be. And it feels like you can't leave that relationship, but like that relationship isn't really serving you anymore because she is not, I would venture to say, probably not being a great friend to you.
That's what it feels like. She also doesn't live near you anymore.
Right.
It feels like a natural time for a bit of a fizzle, perhaps.
Mm-hmm.
And it feels like the moment this girl stops pouring her cup into Felicia, it's going to not be reciprocated.
The people that I know who are like Felicia also tend to do this with multiple people.
Leeches.
Right. So like she may be giving you every second of her guy drama, etc. And she's probably doing it to about 7 other people in her life. Friends, coworkers, her hairdresser, anybody who will listen. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like we know these people.
Oh yeah.
We've cut these people out of our lives.
Because they're looking for it.
We sometimes still have them in our lives, but like
they're
likely
looking for some reason that it's not their own doing
of their own making. And that as you get older, because it's been 8 years, like probably back in 2017, like y'all connected. She was like a fun coworker. Y'all had fun going out together. The drama was like a little exciting back when you were, 25.
Yeah.
Now it's like, okay.
It's
okay.
exhausting.
It's exhausting. It's really, and that somebody who's like that is always going to be emotionally manipulative towards their friends who like let them.
Mm-hmm.
And
or enable it or are concerned for their well-being, just being a good friend, and they take it as like, oh, they're interested in my main character story, so I'm gonna
exactly.
Here we go.
At a time like this, you either need to take a step back or tough love. I'm pretty good at the tough love. If there's things like that, I just like, I don't care anymore. If you gotta keep on doing the same exact thing. Some people in this room know what I'm talking about. If you continue to do the same thing over and over again, like I don't want to hear it anymore.
The self-sabotaging, the main character syndrome, the like not caring about what their other friends are going through and only being the one to talk about their life constantly wears thin quickly.
It's pretty funny here. There's some irony that I don't think the writer has noticed here. The way you light it out is pretty much that she dated this guy, like he cheated on her, and then it's like, all right, then fuck him, don't do it. Then she like forgave him and let him back in her life.
Right.
And you're like, how could she let that's so stupid? Then again, you've done the same thing with Felicia, where you took a step back, you took a pause, you were mad at her for doing this, then you let her back in her life, and then she did the same thing again. So you're getting mad at her for the same thing that you did with her friendship. Like I know it's different because, dating, all this stuff, but you need to maybe like, okay, yeah, Felicia, she's not going to change. Like, why am I keep on trying this?
Right. I think it's important to note too. I totally agree with what you're saying, Randy, but I also think that there is oftentimes, especially in like female friendships, where you don't realize how much you're being emotionally manipulated until it's like you're far into it.
Mm-hmm.
And mostly because women really like care about the other person. Like we're fixers. We like to provide solutions, and we do get offended when somebody like we give advice and then someone doesn't follow said advice. But at the same time, like even if they don't follow your advice, you still like love them, want them to succeed, etc. But like we said at the beginning, she's the self-sabotager. You're not going to fix her. I think in my experience, it is easier to step back, fizzle this out versus like direct confronting.
Would agree 100%. Yeah.
They, again, Felicia and other people use that to their advantage of like just being completely dramatic and, turning it into a whole thing versus like taking the tough love.
Yeah.
Tough love tends to backfire with people with this kind of personality because it's a very much a victim thing, and they have no social awareness of like what they're doing.
Oh yeah.
Then she'll turn around and say that, like, make you the bad guy.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I guess that's true.
They would not recognize what they've been doing for the last however long is grating. It would just be like, oh, this is out of the blue. That you're crazy.
Yeah.
Thanks for being a bitch. It's like, no.
And I say all this as somebody who has been through this, that at the time I kept giving someone chances, kept trying to be their friend. And you know, hindsight's 2020. Being out of it, it's a lot easier for me to say this from like an objective standpoint because I've been there. But you're not wrong for like trying to be your friend and like being kind.
Yeah.
But that can only go so far. And like you are not responsible for all of her feelings.
Yeah. You're not her therapist. You're not her sister. You're not, it's not serving you. So
Exactly.
don't let it continue to not serve
Don't
you.
keep giving it life.
Amen.
Wow, we finally answered it.
We did.
3 weeks later. Okay, last one.
I think that let's wrap because I like this next one. I think this deserves more than a 3-minute answer.
Okay, we'll punt this one to the
Punt
next
this one
week.
to next week.
Great.
So that's going to do it for us today. Any parting shots before we jump out of here?
No, I feel great.
July
about this.
on the radar.
Yeah, I think
Back
we got
half of the
one
year.
more episode in us, and then I'm off the week after. So from my B-Day.
Happy birthday. Early birthday.
I mean, I feel like, you know what's weird is like July 8th feels like it's like a month away, but it's really, really like
it's coming quick.
quickly. Yeah.
And then as soon as it's July, college football starts next month. Cannot wait.
Wow.
I know.
Can't wait for college
and then
football.
weather gets, oh man. And then
No,
here we go.
okay.
Yeah,
Brett,
not down
Brett,
here, not till November.
Whoa.
Man.
Like,
know,
if anything, the weather, we're still on the upward
No.
climb to higher temperatures.
I
like,
know.
We're not on the downslope till about October
I know.
15th.
But I did book 5 days in Bozeman, middle of September.
Okay. Yeah. Well, that'll be good for you.
It's going to be great.
But for the rest of us, we'll be hitting peak heat.
September is the
Hottest month in Texas.
It is the worst. It is my least favorite month in Texas, and it is my favorite month in New York. Well, second favorite, behind October, because it is when the air turns to crisp, if not cool, if not even cold. And here it is 104 degrees the entire month. It's off.
This was a real full circle episode, just straight back to global warming. Straight back.
That's going to do it for us. Please give us a rating, subscription, a review. Tell a friend about the show. Hit the hotline number 888-362-6245. Or you can write in at the link in the Twitter bio at Mail-In Podcast. Sally, where can the people find you?
Sally deFries on Instagram.
I am Brett Merriman at Schmerriman on Instagram, Twitter. I think those are the two platforms. That's Randy Trimbacki.
Blue Sky.
Hi,
I'm not
Truth
on I'm not
Social.
on Blue Sky or Truth. What are you at, Randy?
at Randy Trimbacki on everything
There you go. On TikTok.
on TikTok.
All right, y'all.
Bye.
Enjoy the heat. See you guys next week.